Good morning, students. Today's lecture is about quality by design. What is quality by design? It's a quality system for managing your product life cycle, and it's a regulatory expectations which is intended to increase the process and the product understanding. Thereby, we can decrease the patient risk and a multifunctional exercise it is, and is a new, it's a design of experiment, and we can say it's a design space. Now we will see the principles of QBD. So that is, first thing is risk and knowledge based decisions, and we are doing the systematic approach, process development, and there is a continual improvement, and it leads to capable processes. And if you see the bibliography, it starts with 1979 and till 2011 there was a lot of things we have changed. And first thing, QBD is woven into regulatory guidelines documents as per FDA 2011 process validation guidance. We can say that it's a risk-based approach and it's on process development, and it's called it as a design of experiments, and we have the control strategy and the process qualifications, and we are doing the equipment qualifications, and we are checking the process performance qualifications, and there will be a continual process verifications. So it was related to the ICH Q8 through Q11. Q8, it's pharmaceutical development, and in Q9 it's discussed about quality risk management. In Q10 it's a pharmaceutical quality system. Q11 it's elaborately explains about the development and manufacturing of the drug substances. How has industry responded? So in the risk management, if we see, the first factor is process monitoring, and we need continual improvement. Then in the design space, always we have the control strategy. In process characterization and verifications, then quality target product profile, we have critical quality attributes and analytical control strategies. So European regulators' vision on ICH FSC, so it's an integration in different ICH quality concepts. So as per the European Union regulations, so quality risk management, it's Q9 it is, and it's connected with the pharmaceutical development, Q8 it is. So now in the Q9, the pharmaceutical quality risk management, so as per regulatory fillings, stage 1 it is process design. In stage 2, it will explain about the process characterization, and in 3, it's a continuous process verifications. So it's interconnected with ICH Q8 and Q11, and it's also directly linked with ICH Q10 it is. It's on continuous monitoring it is. So we have 3 different strategies. The first one is product understanding. So here the criticality is we can understand the mechanism of actions and the structural and functions and the process knowledge. So this will be linked with the process understanding. For example, unit operations and operating parameters, raw materials, risk management. So finally, this control strategy assessment is there. So here we are using this raw material controlling, and the process control, always we are doing the operating ranges and the process qualifications. So in the testing, we are doing the in-process and specifications, characterization, comparability, and stability studies. So to understand this QBD, the first thing everyone it's got the confusions, and research and discussions were there. The reaching the understanding. It's a process defined by the documentation requirements, and it is similar to iterative. It focuses on risk-based approaches, encourages continuous improvement, which intends to design capable process. The primary QBD documents, if we see, first thing is risk assessment report setters. So it's performed throughout QBD process, particularly which is important to the process development. Then quality target product profile, which defines the desired product characteristics and sets development goals. In control strategy summary, which define the process, its inputs and outputs and how it is controlled. Then PPQ reports it as formal verification that the process control strategy has been defined appropriately and repeatedly, which produces the desired results. Continual process verification reports, it assures that during routine commercial production, the process remains in a state of control. It involves feedback also. So where does risk assessment belong it is? The first thing is QTPP, and in process development, preliminary CQA assessment, preliminary raw material assessment, and in control strategy, raw materials, components, technical transfer, and stage 2 validation in protocol development and stage 3 validation. In process development risk assessment, it's performed yearly in process and in development, defines provisional critical quality attributes. It establishes known and hypothetical links between raw materials, process parameters, and provisionals. So prioritize process parameter and materials criticality by potential product risk, and it guides subsequent range findings and robustness study design. For example, in cell culture, the quality attributes, appearance, pH, and that is virus safety. So all sort of things will be assessed in that critical quality attributes. So now process parameter matrices also is there. So here we are controlling this processing parameters. So QTPP is necessary element, we can say, quality characteristics, sterility, purity, etc. Pharmacokinetic characteristics, for example dissolution, etc. And therapeutic effect, which also comes under quality target profile, and patient population, for example neonates, adults, etc. In clinical diagnosis, we will have this more focused towards the QTPP, and in self life also, they're based on temperatures, light conditions, like other things also involved to predict the self life, and desired elements, then dosage form, liquid for injections, for example, and solid tablets, like other dosage forms also important parameter in the QTPP. So route of administration, like oral, IV, IM, subcutaneous, clinical settings, self or clinical administrations, primary or secondary packaging, glass or plastic, vial, syringe, blister packaging, and other elements as appropriate will be quality target product profile. So this QTPP, which leads to the critical quality attribute. If you see the definitions as per ICHQ 8, a property or characteristics that when controlled within a definite limit, range or distribution, which ensures the desired product quality. So potential CQA, which are derived from the QTPP, and guide product and process development. And this identified by quality risk management and experimentations to determine the effect of variations on product quality. CQA list can be dynamic and may be updated based on product and process knowledge. Now we will see the definitions of a process control strategy. Many CS elements are developed via risk assessment. So now there are material component specifications, CQA, all those things. This control strategy is the final outcome of process development, and it is not a point in time activity, but rather it should evolve as knowledge increases. It's constituted of many parts, many of which are developed, written at different points in time throughout the process development. exception for legacy products, all of these various components likely exist in some form and just need to be combined into an integrated control strategy, which can then effectively drive the CPV program. Control strategy document in stage 1, it's a process design. It define the knowledge space and identify the critical process parameters, determine the control strategy. Whereas stage 2, it's a process qualifications, for example, equipment, utility facility qualifications and process performance qualifications. In stage 3, it's a monitoring of critical process parameters as part of APR and other monitoring systems. Process performance qualifications, here stay 2011 FDA process validation guidance if we say. In stage 1, it's a process design. It define the knowledge space and identify the critical process parameters and which determine the control strategy. In stage 2, it is process qualifications, equipment facility qualifications. In stage 3, it's a process monitoring. It is so monitoring of the critical process parameters as part of APR and other monitoring systems. So verification that the defined control strategy consistently delivers the desired product quality. And it's a significant product milestone and it provides a proof for the process is well controlled and it establishes an initial baseline for future process evaluations. This process performance qualification is a dynamic part of the validation concept. Now we will see the routine manufacturing and continuous improvement, in which the process design define the knowledge space and identify critical process parameters. It's a continuous improvement which is the last component of the QBD process, and this it's provide the feedback loop in the control of our process, and process is monitored and evaluated, and short-term release criteria will be there given, and long-term this parameters also is there, and other components of a continuous improvement include good integration of the process knowledge into change control, deviation management, etc. Knowledge management via QBD reduced risk. We can say that product risk is reduced and the process knowledge is also increased at us. The QBD process is iterative. It can have multiple feedback modes. It can be applied to any stage of the product life cycle. For example, product risk assessment may lead to revision of control strategy. So is there any questions you can ask now? Thank you, students.